The Galactic Council chamber stretched wider than any starship hangar. Towering crystalline columns caught the pale light of distant suns. Holographic star maps floated mid-air, spinning slowly. Each glowing point marked a war zone, a trade route, or a civilization under watch. But one point, a small blue planet in a quiet system, barely drew notice. "Earth," said Vekthal, a Rethel delegate. His 6 eyes gleamed cold beneath his polished mandibles. Primitive, unremarkable, a blip in the cosmic order. Beside him, Jorvan strategist Skrell flicked his smooth amphibious skin. He was lean, with eyes like polished obsidian. Chaotic to a fault, illogical, emotionally unstable, a liability. Vekthal clicked his mandibles in agreement. They lack discipline. Their weapons are crude. Their fleets scatter in confusion. Exactly why they are weak, Skrell added with a hint of disdain. No coordinated strategy, no honor in combat, just chaos. A ripple of murmurs passed through the chamber. Other delegates nodded. Most saw humans as a joke, a backward species barely worth the effort of formal contact. Counselor Zar, an elder Rethel diplomat, peered at the star map. "Their history is short. They barely left their system." "Primitive," another voice said. A smaller Jorvan with a sharp grin. "Their leaders bicker like children. Their ships lack the elegance of even our oldest vessels." The chamber echoed with quiet laughter. Vekthal stepped forward. "What threat could a species that can't even keep order pose to the Galactic Council?" Skrell tapped his webbed fingers on the smooth table. "If we must engage, it should be controlled. Containment, observation. No direct interference unless necessary." "Agreed," Vekthal said. "No need to risk precious resources on a wild, disorganized race." A flicker interrupted the discussion. The holographic star map zoomed in on Earth. The blue planet spun slowly, storms swirling across its surface. A wild, unpredictable world. "Reports say humans are volatile," Skrell continued. "They act on impulse, driven by emotion rather than logic." Vekthal clicked sharply. "Fools. They will destroy themselves long before we need to intervene." A younger delegate shifted uneasily. "Some ancient records mention humans differently. Warnings even," Vekthal snorted. "Old myths from elder races, exaggerations at best. But the records describe chaos resilience," the junior delegate pressed. "They survive when all else falls apart. Their tactics confuse and disrupt." Skrell waved the notion away. "Such ideas are superstition. We deal in order and precision." The chamber fell silent again. The Galactic Council had faced many wild species. Most were subdued with ease. Earth was merely another minor problem. Colonel Mateo Rojas sat in the observation lounge on the UESN Phoenix. Far from here, he watched the calm blue swirl of Earth's storms. To the Council, his people were weak, undisciplined, chaotic. They didn't know the truth. Back in the Galactic Council, the Rethel and Jorvan resumed their debate. "We will monitor," Vekthal said, "but no interference. Let the humans be." "Agreed," Skrell replied. "They are a curiosity, nothing more." But beneath their calm voices a shadow passed. Something ancient stirred in the records, forgotten but not gone. The Council's towers gleamed cold and perfect. Order ruled here. Chaos was a stranger. They had no idea what Earth was preparing to unleash. As the Rethel observers pieced together humanity's puzzling nature, they uncovered ancient warnings hidden in Earth's oldest transmissions, messages that hinted at the chaos humans not only survived but mastered. The archive was dim and silent, save for the soft hum of glowing data crystals. Strange alien artifacts surrounded the scholars, etched stone tablets, shimmering hollow discs, and long-lost relics from elder races. Flickering holograms of grizzled, enigmatic beings hovered above the tables, casting ghostly blue light. One such hologram showed the Clithery, an ancient race known for their wisdom and long memory. Their voice, crackling and distant, echoed through the chamber. "Beware the species of Earth," the Clithery warned. "They thrive where order breaks. Their strength lies in chaos, the storm that breaks patterns and shatters plans." A sharp-eyed Rethel scholar, Tal Rand, frowned as he studied the translation. "Chaos? That is a disorder, a flaw. How can a civilization built on chaos survive?" "It defies logic." A Jorvan delegate, slim and sleek, replied with a cold chuckle. "They are nothing but irrational animals." Our fleets crushed lesser foes with ease. This Earth species will break like brittle glass. But the Elder hologram flickered, delivering a harsher warning. Do not mistake chaos for weakness. The humans bend and twist in unpredictable ways. They adapt instantly. Their emotions fuel them, not hinder them. They are the wild card in the cosmic deck. Another ancient message appeared from the Virax, a race long vanished but remembered for their battles against human-like forces. Their warning was blunt: contain before contact. The Earthlings use fear and confusion as weapons. When plans fail, they grow stronger. They are the Tempest. Order is their enemy. Talren's mandibles click nervously. Containment sounds extreme. We have no evidence of their true power. They have no fleet, no unified command. Just scattered tribes fighting among themselves. Exactly, said a younger Jorvan scientist, her voice dripping with disdain. They are a mess. Their chaos resilience is no more than luck and stubbornness. We can anticipate their breakdowns. But the elders exchanged worried glances. One, an ancient Rathul named Voras, spoke quietly but firmly. We once dismissed the warnings. We thought the humans primitive and disorganized. Yet, their ability to survive in war zones, natural disasters, and internal conflict is unusual. He tapped a glowing crystal, projecting a simulation of Earth's ancient history. Flames swallowed cities, storms ripped continents, yet humans endured and rebuilt stronger. Look here, Voras continued. In every collapse of order, humans do not fall apart. They reorganize with fierce, unpredictable energy. This chaos factor, it is unlike anything in recorded galactic history. A Jorvan tactician, slim-finned and sharp-eyed, countered, if they are so chaotic, how can they ever mount a true defense? They cannot unify, cannot strategize like we do. The hologram shimmered again, showing a flash of ancient battles. Humans fought with wild tactics, sudden flanking maneuvers, unexpected alliances, and emotional war cries that unsettled even the most disciplined foes. They do not fight like machines, the Virax warned. They fight like storms, unruly, relentless, and terrifying. Fear their unpredictability above all. Talren looked away, disturbed. These warnings, are they superstition? Ancient myth? We cannot build policy on ghost stories. Voras' eyes glinted. Perhaps not myths. The Galactic Council must consider that humans are not weak. They are an unknown variable. Chaos is their weapon. Order is their weakness. The chamber grew tense, voices rising in debate. Quarantine, hissed a Rethel elder. Isolate Earth before they spread their chaos. No, argued a Jorvan scholar. Observation only, for now. We lack proof of threat. Voras shook his head. Ignore these warnings, and we risk disaster. Amid the tension, the ancient warnings echoed, a spectral chorus from races long gone, cautioning against underestimating humans. Understanding dawned slowly. Humans were not just survivors of chaos, they were masters of it, and the galaxy might soon learn why that scared them all. But while the galaxy debated the danger, on Earth, Colonel Mateo Rojas prepared for a mission that would change everything. Inside the sleek command deck of the UESN Phoenix, the hum of engines filled the air. Panels blinked with soft blue light. Outside the viewport, Earth hung like a swirling marble, blue oceans, white clouds, and the occasional flash of storm lightning. The planet looked peaceful, but the crew knew better. Rojas stood tall and steady. His sharp eyes scanned the readouts. Years of experience had taught him to trust his gut. Protocols were guidelines, not laws. He glanced to his left, where Captain Leela Haddad was checking the controls of her fighter. "Ready for the exercise, Captain?" Rojas asked, his voice calm but firm. Leela smirked, fingers flying over the console. "Always, though I hear the Rathul and Jorvan might be watching us. Maybe they'll finally see what humans can really do." Rojas chuckled softly. "They think we're chaotic, unpredictable. Maybe that's not such a bad thing." Nearby, Colonel Diego Vargas was running diagnostics on the ship's weapon systems. He was methodical, but unlike many officers, he respected the chaos humans thrived in. The simulations show we're always the wild card. No one can predict our moves. Maybe that's why we survive. Leela grinned. Exactly. We don't follow their neat little rules. We improvise. We adapt. That's what scares the aliens. Rojas nodded. Order is their strength and their weakness. We fight better when plans break. The crew moved like a well-oiled machine, but there was an undercurrent of energy, something raw and unpredictable. They joked, shared stories, and prepared their gear with practiced ease. Remember the last drill? Leela said with a laugh. We turned their perfect formation into a spaghetti mess. They didn't know what hit them. Rojas smiled, but his expression grew serious. This time, it won't be a drill. Outside, Earth's magnetic storms crackled faintly against the ship's shields. Lightning danced across the atmosphere. The planet was alive, its chaos mirrored in the hearts of those who defended it. Suddenly, the ship's calm crackled. Cole! Rojas, this is control. Exercise begins in 5 minutes. All systems green. Rojas took a deep breath. Copy that. Let's show them why humans are the galaxy's wild card. Leela slapped his shoulder. You lead. Well, follow, fast and messy. The ship shuddered as engines roared to life. Outside, the stars awaited, silent witnesses to the human storm about to break. In the briefing room, Rojas gathered his officers. The holographic map displayed a cluster of nearby satellites and defense platforms. Our mission is a routine defense exercise, Rojas said. But remember, order won't save us. Moni, we adapt, we improvise, and we use chaos to our advantage. Vargas leaned forward. Their fleets moved like clockwork. Predictable. They trust their formations. That's their mistake, Rojas replied. We don't need perfect formations. We need surprise, flexibility, and guts. Leela cracked her knuckles. When the Rethel and Jorvan think they've got us figured out, well, change the game. Again, Rojas looked each of them in the eye. Stick together. Trust your instincts. Chaos is our battlefield. Outside the Phoenix, the smaller ship, UESN Avalanche, gleamed under the sun's glare. Its crew prepared with equal readiness. The two ships were Earth sentinels, rugged, resourceful, unpredictable. As the countdown reached 0, Rojas' voice came over the comm, steady and sharp. All units engage. The ship surged forward. Their movements were anything but perfect, zigzagging, weaving, shifting without warning. To an outsider, it looked like disorder, but to those aboard, it was pure strategy. Rojas glanced at the viewport again. Earth's chaos flows through us. Let them try to control what can't be tamed. Leela laughed. Let's remind the galaxy why humans survive storms they can't predict. The Phoenix and Avalanche raced into the unknown, the human crew ready to face whatever came next, with fierce hearts and wild spirits. Because for humans, chaos was not a curse, it was a weapon. Just as Colonel Rojas scanned the horizon, a sudden flash tore through the sky. Rethel ships burst from the clouds, their attack unfolding without warning. Contact! They're here! Captain Haddad shouted, gripping her console. The space around Earth exploded with energy. Swarms of sleek Rethel cruisers, their insectoid designs gleaming under distant stars, flared brilliant blue beams. Behind them, Jorvan fighters darted like deadly amphibians through the void, precise and relentless. Shields up! Weapons hot! Rojas barked. The UESN Avalanche shuddered as the first energy blast struck. The hull groaned under the assault. Explosions blossomed along the surface, sending debris spinning into the black. Damage report, Rojas demanded. Hull integrity dropping to 70%, the tactical officer replied, voice tense. Enemy fire is too accurate. Their formations, it's like clockwork. The alien ships moved with deadly precision. Perfect lines, exact timing, and unyielding focus. Humans scrambled to keep up. Captain Haddad leaned forward. They're playing their game. We're just chasing their pattern. The Avalanche twisted sharply, trying to break formation, but the Rethel cruisers anticipated every move. Energy beams tracked the human ship with ease. Nearby, the UESN Hurricane flared as missiles slammed into its side. Explosion in engineering. We're losing power. The Hurricane's captain radioed desperately. Rojas' jaw tightened. Hold formation. Don't let them divide us. But chaos reigned inside human ranks. Ships scattered, some breaking from planned tactics, others firing wildly. The aliens mocked the confusion over comms. Primitive species, a cold voice crackled, predictable as their emotions. Rojas gritted his teeth. They think this is weakness. They don't understand chaos. Energy beams streaked past the Phoenix, grazing its hull. Captain Haddad's voice was sharp. They expect us to fold. Let's show them we don't. Despite their efforts, the humans were outmatched. Alien weaponry sliced through human defenses with brutal efficiency. Fighters exploded in fireballs. Communications flickered under electronic assault. In the middle of the chaos, Rojas stared at the jumble of tactical data. Patterns emerged. Too neat, too smooth. They're too steady, he muttered. We're fighting their rules. A Rethel juggernaut loomed ahead, its massive form blocking the stars, its weapons locked onto the avalanche. Brace for impact, Haddad warned. The blast hit like a thunderclap. The ship rocked violently, systems flickering, shields critical. The engineer's voice was strained. Rojas steadied himself, gripping the console. All units, prepare for emergency maneuvers. We can't beat them at their own game. Across the void, alien commanders observed the human scramble with confidence. Chaos is their weakness, a Jorban officer sneered. Once we break their spirit, Earth falls. But inside the human fleet, a spark flickered. Disorder and desperation mixed with fierce resolve. We fight messy, Rojas said quietly, but we fight hard. The battle raged on, human ships battered but unbowed. For every ship lost, the humans fought back harder, unpredictable and wild. Rojas, the formation's breaking apart, Haddad called out. It has to, he replied. We don't follow their rules. Explosions painted the void red and gold. The humans seemed poised to fall. But deep in their hearts they knew this was only the beginning. They weren't just chaotic, they were chaos itself. As the Rethel ships unleashed their first salvo, Colonel Rojas and Captain Haddad exchanged a knowing glance, ready to reveal the secret that made humanity's chaos a deadly weapon. The alien energy bolt screamed past the UESN Phoenix, lighting up the void. The ship shuddered but held steady. Rojas' voice crackled over the comm. All hands, abandon protocols. Standard tactics are dead. It's time to fight chaos with chaos. Haddad smirked, fingers dancing over the console. Let's show them what happens when you try to cage a storm. Without warning, the Phoenix twisted sharply, veering off predicted paths. The crew threw out false sensor blips, scrambling their own signatures like a scatter of fireflies in the dark. The Rethel fleet, masters of order and precision, blinked in confusion. Their sensors buzzed with static, unable to lock onto targets. Warban commanders shouted, "What kind of interference is this?" Their signals are chaotic. Aboard the Avalanche, Colonel Vargas launched stealth fighters from hidden asteroid shadows. They darted in unpredictable arcs, striking and fading before alien weapons could respond. Now, Vargas, Rojas commanded, hit their comm relays. Explosions shattered the silence as the fighters tore through alien communication satellites. The Rethel fleet's tight formation splintered. Without clear orders, the alien ships hesitated. Captain Haddad took it further. Leading a boarding team, she jammed the enemy sensors from inside. Her voice was steady as she cut through the Rethel command ship's corridors. They think we're weak because we don't follow their rules. Chaos is our battlefield. She planted explosive charges in the ship's nerve center. Moments later, a massive shockwave rocked the fleet. Alien vessels staggered, caught off guard by the unexpected assault. Back on the Phoenix, the crew flooded the enemy's electronic defenses with a barrage of erratic signals. The alien tech, designed for clean, predictable data, faltered under the flood of disorder. Rojas stared at the holomap, watching alien formations crumble like sandcastles in a storm. Their precision is their weakness. They can't adapt when everything is uncertain. Jorban officers barked orders, but confusion spread like wildfire among their ranks. Why is their chaos so effective? One hissed. The answer was simple. Humans didn't just survive chaos, they thrived on it. Captain Haddad, status? Rojas asked. We're inside the command ship's core, Haddad replied, voice calm but fierce. Sensors failing all around them. We're turning their own systems against them. The Rethel flagship blinked erratically on the holomap. Its shield flickered. Engines stuttered. Prepare for coordinated strikes, Rojas ordered. Hit every weak point. Spread out. Regroup fast. The human fleet shattered into unpredictable patterns. Some ships vanished into asteroid belts. Others dove through magnetic storms that scrambled alien sensors. Every move was a surprise. Haddad, Vargas, take your squads. Find their blind spots. Coyer. Exploit every crack. As human fighters swarmed like fire ants, the aliens realized their perfectly ordered formations offered no defense. Every carefully crafted plan dissolved into chaos. Back in the Rithal command bridge, glowing mandibles clenched in frustration. They do not play by our rules. This unpredictability, this madness, it's a weapon. Gorvan strategists scrambled to reprogram drones, but the overload of chaotic signals sent their systems into loops. "We are blind and deaf," one shouted. On the Phoenix, Rojas smiled grimly. They thought chaos was weakness. They didn't know it was our strength. Captain Haddad's voice came over the comm again. Chaos isn't disorder, it's freedom. Freedom to adapt, to strike, to survive. The human fleet's wild maneuvers turned alien discipline into confusion. Rojas leaned forward, eyes burning with resolve. "This is just the beginning. Let them see what happens when you try to cage the storm." And in that moment, the secret of humanity's chaos warfare was no longer hidden. It was a roar in the dark, a storm unleashed, an unpredictable force that no alien order could contain. As the Rethel officers stared in disbelief, Colonel Rojas stepped forward, his voice steady as he prepared to explain the true power behind humanity's chaos. He looked straight into the comm lens, eyes burning with calm fire. The flickering lights of the Phoenix command deck played over his face. Behind him, Captain Leela Haddad tightened her grip on the console, ready for whatever came next. "You came expecting an easy fight," Rojas said. "You thought humans would break like glass under your perfect order. But you found a storm." The alien fleet's comm channels filled with his voice, clear and defiant. "We are not just chaos, we are the masters of it." He paused, letting those words hang in the silent space between worlds. "You see confusion as weakness, we see it as strength. When your ships move like clockwork, predictable and slow, we move like lightning, fast, wild, and unpredictable." A sharp glance flicked to Haddad, who cracked a grin. "We don't follow your rules because we don't need to. In the chaos of battle, in the breakdown of plans, we thrive. Our minds sharpen, our instincts fire. We become the storm you can't control." Rojas clenched his fists, voice rising with fierce pride. "Your precision is your prison, your order is your cage, and we, humans, are the ones who break free." He leaned closer to the comm, eyes blazing. "This is our home. Earth is not a prize to be taken. It is a fortress built from chaos and spirit." The Rethel and Jorvan commanders on the other end exchanged uneasy looks. The usual cold confidence in their ranks flickered, replaced by doubt. "You think this is just a skirmish," Rojas said. "A quick conquest. But this is the warning shot. Do you hear me, Galactic Council?" His voice thundered now, shaking through the alien network. "We are not the weak, the disorganized, the primitive you mocked. We are the chaos you fear." Captain Haddad's voice cut in sharp and clear. "We don't just survive the storm. We become it. We turn your perfect fleets into wrecks. We turn your strategies into ashes. Your technology is advanced, yes, but it's built to fight order, not madness." Rojas' gaze hardened. "Madness?" Rojas' gaze hardened. "We call it life." He paced slowly across the command deck, the hum of the ship's engines pulsing like a heartbeat. "We adapt, we improvise, we make the impossible routine. And when you think you've won by predicting our next move, we change it." He stopped and looked directly at the hologram of the alien fleet. "This is our promise." His voice dropped cold and sharp. "You will learn to fear chaos, because chaos is our weapon, our shield, our soul." The transmission crackled through alien comm arrays, cutting through layers of static. "Try to contain us. Try to cage the storm." He smiled grimly, voice calm but filled with iron resolve. "We are ready. We have always been ready. Look around you, invaders. This is not the end. It is only the beginning." The silence that followed was deafening. On the alien command bridges, the Rethel's mandibles clicked nervously. Jorvan eyes darted to one another with sudden uncertainty. For the first time, the weak human seemed different, dangerous, unpredictable. Colonel Rojas turned back to his crew. Captain Haddad met his eyes, nodding. The storm had only just begun. Ain. But just as the galaxy prepared to write Earth off as a lost cause, Colonel Rojas and Captain Haddad were about to prove that chaos was the greatest weapon humanity had. The shattered remains of the UESN Avalanche drifted like a wounded beast amid the swirling debris of broken alien ships. Around them, the Rethel and Jorban fleets tried to regroup, their perfect formations now a fractured web of confusion. "Phoenix to Hurricane," Rojas barked over the comm. "How's that sensor jamming coming along?" "Almost there," Captain Haddad's voice crackled back, sharp and steady. "They won't see us coming for long." The UESN Hurricane slipped behind a dense asteroid belt, its systems humming as it launched a swarm of electronic drones. The drones zipped through space, weaving chaotic patterns that sent bursts of interference across the enemy's sensor networks. Lights flickered on alien command ships, screens went dark or scrambled. The Rethel commanders hissed in frustration. "Jorvan Fleet, status report," a Rethel officer snapped. "Sensors are down, communications disrupted." "What is this madness?" the Jorvan replied, barely concealing panic. "Their signal jammers are everywhere. We can't predict their moves." Rojas grinned. "Chaos, gentlemen. You wanted order. We gave you chaos." With the enemy blinded, the UESN Avalanche's fighters darted out from hiding. Spearheaded by Captain Haddad, they struck at the alien supply lines with surgical precision. Missiles streaked across the void, racing past stunned Rethel cruisers. "Target locked," Haddad shouted, her voice filled with that reckless joy only humans could hold in battle. Her fighters weaved between incoming fire, cloaking and decloaking unpredictably. They zipped through magnetic storms, using the swirling energy to mask their assault. In the midst of the chaos, the Phoenix led the daring charge. Rojas sat at the helm, eyes blazing with focus. "We hit their command ships now," he ordered. No hesitation, no mercy. The Phoenix tore through the void like a comet, its weapons fired in wild bursts. Alien shields flickered, then failed under the relentless assault. A Rethul dreadnought shuddered violently as explosions ripped through its hull. Jorvan warships collided in confusion, some mistaking allies for foes in the sensor blackout. "Captain Haddad, boarding team ready," Rojas said. "Time to remind these invaders what unpredictability means." Haddad laughed, a fierce sound that cut through the tension. "On it, Colonel. Let's make this a mess they'll never forget." Her boarding parties rocketed across to enemy vessels, breaching airlocks and sowing chaos inside. Alien crews scrambled, their rigid discipline crumbling as humans fought with brutal improvisation. One Rethel captain was heard to growl, "These humans fight like storms, wild and unstoppable. Our formations mean nothing." Human fighters swarmed through corridors, tossing grenades and shouting orders that made no sense to the aliens, but worked perfectly. "Cover me," Haddad called out as she vaulted over a fallen Jorvan officer. "We're rewriting their battle plans on the fly." Back on the Phoenix, Rojas watched the enemy fleet fragment. Where once was order, now was madness. "Keep the pressure," he commanded. "Let them drown in their own confusion." The UESN Avalanche regrouped, launching a fresh wave of hit-and-run strikes. They rained fire on alien repair ships, crippling their ability to fix the damage. Supply convoys were ambushed relentlessly. Alien commanders shouted into crackling comms, trying to rally their scattered forces, but the humans moved like living storms, unpredictable and relentless. "Rethol fleet, prepare to retreat," one officer ordered desperately. "We cannot hold this chaos," but the humans pressed on. Rojas' voice came over every frequency, steady as thunder. "You came expecting order. You'll leave fearing chaos." Captain Haddad's fighters swept through the battlefield, laughter mixing with battle cries. "Hey, Rethel scum! You thought we'd break? We're just getting started!" The chaos battlefield was alive. Magnetic storms twisted energy blasts. Asteroids exploded in controlled detonations to block pursuers. Hacking drones scrambled enemy targeting systems. The once weak humans had become a tempest. Alien ships collided or self-destructed, caught in their own panic maneuvers. The Rethel and Jorvan fleets broke apart, retreating in disorder. Their leader's face flashed on comm screens, grim, shocked. "Recall all ships," the voice ordered. "Earth is not a prize to be taken lightly." Rojas exhaled, eyes scanning the battered but unbeaten fleet. "We didn't just survive, we turned the tide." Captain Haddad smiled, wiping sweat from her brow. "They wanted perfect order, so we gave them perfect chaos." The UESN Phoenix and her sister ships rallied around Earth, battered but unbowed. Humanity's wild storm had proven stronger than alien precision, and the galaxy would never forget it. Just as hope seemed lost, Colonel Rojas and Captain Haddad found a new edge in humanity's chaos, turning the tide in a way no one expected. Now the real challenge began, holding their victory against the galaxy's stunned and wary eyes. The battered alien fleet limped away from Earth orbit, their sleek ships scarred and smoking. The Rethel command ships blinked erratically, their precise formation shattered. The Jorvan war cruisers struggled to regroup, their amphibian crews shaken by the wild unpredictability they had faced. The invaders had come ready to conquer, expecting an easy sweep. Instead, they faced a storm they couldn't control. Back on the UESN Phoenix, the crew erupted in cheers. Lights flashed green in the command deck as engineers reported stabilizing systems. Captain Haddad grinned, wiping sweat from her brow. "We did it! We actually did it!" Colonel Rojas' eyes scanned the viewport. Earth hung below them, a restless blue jewel wrapped in swirling clouds. The storms mirrored the chaos they had used. Fierce, untamed, alive. "It's only the beginning," Rojas said quietly. "They came thinking we'd be easy prey. Now they know better." They'll be back. In the deep chambers of the Galactic Council, tension crackled like static. Holographic star maps flickered as Rethel and Jorvan leaders argued heatedly. The once calm, cold logic that had dismissed humans as weak now cracked under doubt. The Earthlings defied our tactics. "Their chaos is a weapon," hissed a Rethel diplomat, mandibles clicking in frustration. A Jorvan strategist glared, his skin rippling with stress. "Containment protocols have failed. We must reconsider. This primitive species threatens the order of the galaxy." Elder counselors paced silently, their ancient faces grim. A whisper ran through the chamber. "Chaos cannot be controlled. Chaos breeds power where order fails." Back in orbit, humans worked fast. Repair crews swarmed the Avalanche and Hurricane, patching hull breaches with practice speed. Fighter pilots cleaned weapons and prepped for the next sortie. The victory was hard won, but no one dared relax. Lieutenant Mara Chen, a communications officer, caught Colonel Rojas' attention. "Sir, new transmissions from the Galactic Council. They're debating Earth's threat level very seriously." Rojas nodded, fingers tightening on the console. "Good. Let them talk. Well, give them a show they won't forget." Captain Haddad leaned over, her voice low and fierce. "We've got their attention. Time to remind them why chaos isn't something you cage." In the mess hall, crew members shared stories of the battle, laughter mixed with exhaustion. The human spirit burned bright, relentless, and unbreakable. Outside, Earth's atmosphere crackled with renewed storms. Lightning danced like the battle itself, unpredictable and wild. Rojas stood before the Phoenix viewport again. His voice echoed in the silent command deck. "We don't just survive chaos, we live in it, we thrive on it, and the galaxy will learn what that means." A message flashed on the main screen, intercepted alien signals scrambled with static. Somewhere the Council's debates raged on. The humans prepared new strategies. They would not wait for the next attack. They would meet it on their terms, chaotic, fierce, unstoppable. Captain Haddad's final words before the fleet dispersed filled the comm channels. They tried to contain chaos. They found a storm, and storms don't back down. Earth's defenders vanished into the swirling clouds below, ready for whatever came next. Because in this galaxy, chaos was not a weakness. It was humanity's greatest strength, and the wild card no one could hold.